Drop your chin to your chest. Start to scrape that chin over towards the left shoulder. Try and look over the left shoulder. When you can't go any further, start to draw that circle back into extension. Start to take it over to the right, looking over the right shoulder. When you can't go any further, drop the chin, bring it back to center. We're going back the other way. I've got a little twinge in my neck here on that right side, which you can see I have more range of motion on the left side. You're going to start in spinal flexion by starting to round that upper back forward. Both elbows are going to twist over to the left. That left shoulder is going to start to dip down. Then we're bringing it back into extension. Bring it over to the other side. Right shoulder is coming down, starting to lean. Big twist over to the right. Elbows start to drop. And then you're back to center where you started. We're going back the other way. Big twist to the right. Right shoulder dips down. Bring that upper back into extension. Big twist over to the left. Left shoulder drops down. And we are back to center. You're going to start with your arms out in front, open up about 30 degrees, arms stay straight the whole time. You're going to start to reach forward using those shoulder blades, so let them slide past the ribs. Then we're going to shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Start to squeeze your shoulder blades together like you're trying to crush something in between your shoulder blades. And then from there, you're dropping them down and then reaching back forward. And then as we go back the other way, you're going to reach out in front. Drop the shoulder blades down, so depress to start, then retract, then lift, and then protract. Reach it forward again. Starting with your arm down by your side, you're going to lift your arm, keeping it nice and straight all the way up until that bicep is by the ear. So we've just brought it into shoulder flexion at the very top. When you can't go any further, you're going to flip your palm out, start to reach your arm back. And as you're doing that, keep twisting that arm into more rotation until that palm is facing out down by your thigh. Then we're going back the other way. So start to unwind as you lift and bring your arm back down. Some common overcompensations for this one is starting to arch in that lower back when you come into flexion, so make sure you're not doing that. And also keeping your torso straight forward, so you're not reaching your body behind you as you start to go all the way back in that full circle. Bring your hands out in front just like you're holding a tray. Elbows stay glued to the side. We're going to extend those wrists all the way down. Start to draw everything in towards the midline, making a nice big circle, only using the wrist. Start to flex it up, and then we're taking it all the way around. Finish that circle, and then once we get that, we're going to go back the other way. Now the big key here with this one is that we don't want to curl the fingers, so try to leave your hands nice and flat. Also, try not to flip your forearms over. So the insides of the forearms should be facing up the entire time, which you'll see right here. Starting with your arms down beside you, elbows stay glued as close to the sides as you can. You're going to flip your palms out, and as you raise your arms up towards your shoulders, you're going to actively keep twisting into that rotation as you lift. Now at the very top, it should feel like a good bicep squeeze, and then you're going to flip your palms over and do that same thing as you lower. So as you lower, you keep twisting further into that rotation as you go. It should feel like a good tricep squeeze at the bottom. And then you're gonna go back the other way. So palms are gonna be facing down. You're gonna flip and then do the same thing. So what we're looking for here is rotation in the elbow and also flexion and extension without bringing those shoulders into it. Starting in a seated position, you're going to take your right arm, hook it underneath your right leg, pull it close to the chest, sit up nice and tall, and then you're going to turn your feet, toes, ankles, everything's going to come in towards the midline. You're going to extend your leg up at the very top. You're going to turn that foot, knee, everything goes out, and then you're going to scrape it all the way back in to your starting position. And then to go back the other way, you'll just start opposite. So start at the bottom, turn your feet out, then extend, turn your feet in at the top, and bring everything back in. If you have any soreness in your hamstrings, you're definitely going to feel it, which are the faces that you're seeing me make. My hamstrings are a little sore this day, so just make note of that. Starting on your hands and knees in your tabletop position, you're going to draw one knee in towards your chest without rounding that back. Then you're going to open the knee up as far as you can go without spilling the hips too much to the other side. Then we're going to take that leg back into extension without arching the back, and then you're going to drop it back in down to center. Now when you go back the other way, you're just going to start in extension and then open the leg up out to the side, trying to draw it in towards the armpit area, and then back underneath your chest, and then back to center, which you'll see me do right here. You want to make sure in this one that you are not arching your back, you're not rounding your back, you're not spilling your hip side. A great way to do that is to take a yoga block or a shoe on your lower back and then perform your hip car. So you want to make sure that shoe doesn't fall off your back. Starting in your seated position, take your right arm, hook it up under your right leg. We're thinking about just moving from that ankle. So you're going to start by gas pedaling your foot all the way down and then drawing that circle by coming in towards the midline and then making that circle as big as you can all the way around. We're going in both directions here. With this one, you want to make sure that you're not moving your knee and your tibia with it, which is why I have my other hand placed right on my knee there so I can make sure that I'm not using anything other than my ankle to make that rotation. All right, your toes are going to be a little bit different than your other joints. I want you to start by just picking all 10 toes up off the ground, bringing them up as high as you can, and then setting them down, trying to scrunch your feet and toes into the ground like you're trying to grip the ground. Then you're going to take just the big toes, bring them up as high as you can, leave the other 4 toes down. Do that for a couple reps. Then you're going to leave the big toes down, pick up the other 4 as high as you can. Do that for a couple reps. And then last but not least, we're going to pick them all up and try and piano key the toes in one at a time, starting with that pinky toe all the way into the big toe.